Hi, I'm Casey, your business buddy. According to popular request, today in this session, I would be treating how to write a business plan. It will be a very interesting session, not because it's a popular topic or it's by popular demand, but because it will be very simplified. Please stay on. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. And so in writing a business plan, I've heard many people, including, great speakers, say there's even no need for a business plan. Some talk about the business canvas, some talk about it being a very tedious activity. Some say it's of no use. Some say it's the Americans that introduced it. Whatever the philosophy is, whatever the ideology is that you probably have been introduced to at a given time, please note that whenever you fail to plan, you have automatically planned to fail. Before we delve into writing a business plan, let's look at some reasons why you need a business plan. I'll share 5. I know you may have more. Number 1, a business plan is the business owner's manual. At every point in time, when you have that brainwave moment, when that big idea comes to you, it's important that you articulate your thoughts. It's not good practice to say, oh, I know it, I have it in my head, it's something I've been doing, I've done this for 20 years, I've done this for 3 decades, it's a part of me. No. A good habit of an entrepreneur is writing. Write. Things get clearer once you write. You get a clearer view once you write. And this is exactly what happens when you put your plan to paper. You're able to see clearer. And then you know what? There will be those times when certain questions come up and you need to know, or you need to remind yourself of the answers you had given to them when you thought of that big idea. And all you need to do is to consult the books. Reason number 2. It is a document for investors. You know who always say start small, grow big. You really would need investors at a given time in your business. And when that time comes, that shouldn't be the time when you start writing your plan. Your plan should be an ongoing concern, something you keep tweaking for the better, especially as it gets clearer, as the vision gets clearer and clearer. And many times what you think about is not same as when you begin to practice, which is why it should be an ongoing concern. As you practice, you put certain things to play, you come back to the drawing board, you tweak your plans again. At this point, permit me to say, especially if you're within the African continent, to say that if you're writing a business plan, especially if you're a small business, it's ideal you work with 1 to 3 years. Yes, I know many people may not like the sound of this. Some plan for 5 years, others plan for 10 years. But when you're within a continent that still has, some peculiarities, some very basic issues that negatively impact businesses, then you may need to, rethink or rework the way you do things. When you're not sure about what the policies would be, when you're not sure about the infrastructure in place, when you're not sure about certain things, it's just safer that you plan for a short while before you can have a bigger picture. So back to what the discussion was. It's a document every investor would require of you. Even when you talk about the 4 F's, the friends, family, foes, and fools who are ready to give you money at any time, they would still require a document from you to at least understand what it is you're saying. Some of us are not also very good communicators. You may not be able to share that big idea in the best way possible. Why not put it to paper? Number 3 is that it gives you an overview, a clearer overview. Anytime you write your thoughts, what you have done is that you have separated that thought from you. And once you do it, I can't explain it. It works like magic. You begin to see things you didn't know existed before. You're not the same person writing, but you just observe that there are more questions to be asked. There are more things to look at. So it gives you a clearer overview, especially when you are very articulate about your thoughts. Number 4 is that it sets a trajectory. It gives you a trajectory to follow. Once you have a plan, 1 to 3 years, year 1, year 2, year 3, you've done a forecast. There's a revenue forecast. There's a cost forecast. It becomes like a guide. Remember, we had talked about an organization being beyond one person. In other words, we're not talking about you being a solopreneur now. If you're talking about growing big, then you need to move from a solopreneur to a more structured organization. And then if you will do this, you need to communicate that thought to the next person, to that partner, to that vendor, to that supplier, to that team member. And if you're going to be communicating this, then there has to be something that becomes a point of pursuit for everyone. And there's no better document than what your business plan is saying. It becomes the tool your sales team can work with. If there's a revenue forecast, if there's a revenue target that has been set, it becomes what everyone is set to pursue. Reason number 5, it helps you know when to stop. As a small business consultant, oftentimes when I write business plans for clients, especially after having received a brief from them, I always ask, what's the exit strategy? How will you go out of this business? In this part of the world where I come from, many times that question does not, go down so well with a couple of people. Exit strategy? Oh, this is my business. I hope it lasts forever. That a business is 100 years does not mean it is more successful than the one that lasted for just 3 years or 5 years. What you had in mind should be the measure for how successful a business is. For example, some people build businesses so that it would succeed them. So, it's a family business. Other people build businesses just to sell it off. Yes, I met a friend once, he had a particular tagline. He would say, build a business, sell it, buy a Maserati. You can build a business and sell it off. Another point is, some people build businesses and make it as dynamic as possible. You never can know. The world is ever evolving. And so the more dynamic your business is, the truth is the better it is. Meaning you're able to quickly adapt into something else, especially if the going is no longer looking good. Look at these 5 reasons. Like I said, you could have more, but they are very important reasons why you should have a business plan. I do hope this made sense to you. If you have more, you can add it to the comment section, contribute, let me have your feedback. And if you think there are questions around some of the things I've shared, you can also drop it there. I'm Casey. I remain your business buddy.